Kicking things off, Death Stranding 2 on the beach pushes next-gen visuals with an eerie, hyper-detailed world that looks almost indistinguishable from a high-budget film. Landscapes feel massive and meticulously crafted, from windswept shores to misty cliffs, with weather, lighting, and particle effects adding a constant sense of atmosphere. Character models capture tiny facial movements, skin texture, and clothing physics, making every cutscene feel incredibly lifelike. The game blends surreal imagery with grounded environments, so even simple traversal moments become visual showcases. Reflections, wet surfaces, and volumetric fog all work together to make every frame screenshot-worthy, especially on high-end hardware, where resolution and performance modes let players choose between sharper detail or ultra-smooth motion. Sliding into second, Doom: The Dark Ages delivers brutal medieval sci-fi carnage, wrapped in some of the most striking graphics in a shooter. Environments fuse graphic castles, hellish fortresses, and twisted machinery, all packed with sharp texture work, dynamic fire and gore effects, and dense particle chaos when battles peak. Enemies are rendered with disgusting clarity, from armor shards flying off to flesh tearing under heavy weapons, and animations sell the weight and speed of combat. Lighting plays a huge role, with flickering torches, glowing runes, and demonic portals bathing arenas in rich color. Weapon designs and impact effects further underline the visual spectacle, turning every encounter into a loud, explosive showpiece that constantly reminds you this is built for powerful modern hardware. In the third spot, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 stands out with a painterly art direction that still flexes next-gen muscle through lighting, detail, and animation. The world combines surreal architecture, dreamy skies, and intricate character designs, all rendered with high-resolution textures and sophisticated shading that make scenes look like moving concept art. Subtle environmental details like drifting particles, cloth movement, and reflections in puddles add realism to the stylized presentation. During combat and exploration, camera work and visual effects amplify spells, attacks, and movement, with splashes of color contrasting against moody backgrounds. The result is a game that feels both artistically distinctive and technically advanced, proving that next-gen graphics are not only about realism, but also about how much personality can be conveyed on screen. At number 4, Ghost of Yotei impresses with a cinematic visual style that focuses on sharp environmental detail, realistic lighting, and carefully composed scenes. Snow-covered landscapes, dense forests, and misty valleys are rendered with fine foliage, particle-filled air, and smooth transitions between weather conditions. Character models benefit from detailed armor, fabric simulation, and expressive faces that read clearly even during fast combat. Combat sequences are heightened by stylish motion blur, blood effects, and striking clash animations that make duels feel like scenes from a high-end movie. Color grading and camera framing lean into drama, with silhouettes against sunsets, lanterns cutting through fog, and embers floating through the air, all working together to sell the idea of a high-budget, next-gen showcase. Fifth on the list, Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2 continues the series' focus on grounded realism, with dense medieval environments that take full advantage of modern hardware. Villages, castles, and forests are filled with small details like debris, mud, and vegetation that react to lighting and weather, making the world feel convincingly lived in. Character models feature realistic skin, hair, and clothing materials, and animations work with physics to keep movement grounded instead of overly stylized. Day-night cycles and dynamic weather change the look of familiar locations, with foggy mornings, golden sunsets, and stormy skies adding variety and mood. The attention to materials, from metal armor catching light to wooden interiors reflecting firelight, turns simple exploration and conversation scenes into showcases of subtle visual fidelity. In the sixth position, Assassin's Creed Shadows brings feudal settings to life with richly detailed cities, villages, and countryside that feel dense and atmospheric. Architecture is packed with small elements like shingles, signage, and clutter, while plant life, water, and weather effects give each area a distinct seasonal flavor. Character models show layered clothing, armor, and gear that move convincingly with parkour and combat animations, while facial capture supports more cinematic storytelling. Shadow and light interplay is crucial, especially for stealth, with torches, lanterns, and moonlight carving out pockets of visibility and darkness. When action kicks off, particle effects from dust, fire, and environmental destruction combine with sharp image quality and smooth animation to deliver a very modern, visually rich open-world experience. Seventh, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater reimagines a classic jungle setting using contemporary rendering techniques that make foliage, water, and wildlife feel far more alive than before. Dense forests are packed with layered vegetation that reacts to wind and movement, while puddles, rivers, and swamps use reflections and transparency to ground the environments in realism. Snake's model is highly detailed, from gear and camouflage patterns to subtle facial expressions that stand out in close-ups. Lighting and shadows play a major role in stealth, with dappled sunlight filtering through leaves, dynamic shadows for moving branches, and moody night scenes illuminated by sparse light sources. The improved visuals not only modernize iconic locations, but also enhance tension and immersion by making the jungle feel like a real, dangerous ecosystem. In 8th place, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora dazzles with a lush alien world overflowing with color, complex vegetation, and impressive atmospheric effects. Bioluminescent plants, floating seeds, and exotic wildlife all animate smoothly, creating a sense of constant motion and life wherever you look. The game uses advanced lighting and volumetrics so that sunlight beams through canopy layers, mist hangs over rivers, and storms reshape the mood of whole regions. Character models, especially the Na'vi, showcase detailed skin textures, expressive faces, and reactive clothing and gear. Combined with high-resolution textures and long draw distances, every vista feels postcard ready, making simple exploration by foot or on mounts a visual treat that highlights next-gen rendering power. At number 9, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 delivers a stunning city sandbox with incredible material work, reflections, and density. New York's skyscrapers, streets, and interiors are detailed down to signage, crowds, and clutter, all enhanced by ray-traced reflections on glass and wet surfaces that make swinging at night or in the rain particularly eye-catching. Character models for both heroes and villains are packed with detail, from suit textures and emissive elements to nuanced facial animation during story scenes. Motion blur, particle effects, and dynamic lighting from explosions, powers, and weather combine to keep action scenes visually intense without losing clarity. Whether you are gliding through the skyline or fighting in tight interiors, the game consistently feels like a high-end next-gen showcase. Finally, Battlefield 6 earns its spot with large-scale battles that combine destructible environments, dense particle effects, and realistic lighting into spectacular war zones. Maps feature highly detailed buildings, terrain, and props that can be damaged or destroyed, changing sightlines and cover in visually dramatic ways. Explosions throw debris, smoke, and sparks into the air, while weather systems like storms or fog shift both gameplay and the overall look of the battlefield. Character models and vehicles are rendered with fine surface details, mud, and wear, and their animations sync smoothly with the chaos around them. The combination of high player counts, dynamic destruction, and advanced rendering techniques makes every match feel like a playable action movie built specifically to highlight next-gen power.